students, welcome to our online class. In our previous class, we discussed climate of India, the concepts of weather, climate and also atmosphere, and also details about climographs. Today's topic is climatic controls. Yesterday we knew that what is the climate. Once I'm recalling it, a state of atmospheric conditions which follows a similar pattern over 30 years or more is called climate. That is related to a long-term process, whether related to short-time process. In this topic, climatic controls. First of all, we have to know what are the climatic controls. In our previous class, we discussed elements of climate, elements of weather. These are different from those. Climatic control means the factors that affect climate are called climatic controls. Once I'm repeating this, the factors that affect climate are called climatic controls. There are four climatic controls. Before going into discuss these issues, we have to know some basic issues. It is observed that for some places like Chennai, there is not much differences in temperature across months. For some places like Delhi, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Bhopal, etc., there are wide variations in temperature across months. What are the reasons for this? In the cities like Visakhapatnam, Chennai, Thiruvananthapuram, etc., there is not much variations in the temperature across the months. Whereas the cities like Delhi, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Bhopal, etc., are experiencing wide variations in temperatures across months. Some areas records low temperatures, such as Ooty, Kodaikanal, Darjeeling, Simla, etc. Some areas records highest temperatures, like Jaisalmer, Bikaner, etc. What are the reasons for this? We have to discuss other things also. India is surrounded by Himalayas on the north. India is surrounded by Himalayas in the north, Bay of Bengal in the east, Indian Ocean, the south, Arabian Sea on the west. If you observe that India is surrounded by three seas on three sides, and on the one side it is bounded by land. So the effect of water bodies is on the climate of India. After we will discuss the effects of these water bodies. Let us move on to the first topic. Latitude or distance from the equator. This is the first climatic control. Climatic control means the factor that affects the climate. Latitude or distance from the equator. I think all of you know latitudes. What are the latitudes? Where can we see? We can see latitudes on the maps or on the globes. The horizontal lines and the horizontal circles The horizontal imaginary lines on a globe or a map are called latitudes. This is a globe. What is this? This is equator. Equator. 0 degree latitude is called equator. What is this? This is Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 degrees northern latitude is called Tropic of Cancer. What is this? Tropic of Capricorn. 23.5 degrees southern latitude is called Tropic of Capricorn. What is this? This is Arctic Circle. What is this? This is Antarctic Circle. This is North Pole. This is South Pole. This is South Pole. I think all of you know this. There is a distance from the equator. First of all, we have to know what is the effect of distance from the equator. If we move away from the equator, the average annual temperature decreases. If we move away from this side or this side, if you move away from equator, the average annual temperature decreases. On the basis of temperature, we can divide the world into 3 regions. On the basis of temperature, we can divide the world into 3 regions. What are they? The first one is tropical region. What is this? Tropical region. The region between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is called tropical region. This is the hottest region among the 3 regions. This is polar region. This is polar region. Why do we call like this? This region is around the pole, around the North Pole. This is the region of around the South Pole. These regions are around the poles. That's why we call them polar regions. These are the coldest. These are the coldest regions on the earth. This is the hottest region, and these are the coldest regions on the earth. Between these 2 regions, we can find a 3rd type of region. What is that? This is temperate region. What is this? This is temperate region. This classification is done on the basis of temperature. In this region, the temperature is very high. In this region, that means in the temperate region, the temperature is moderate. In this region, and also in this region, the temperature is very low. Next, we observe the climate of Indonesia and Japan. Do you know where the Indonesia is? Do you know? Indonesia is a neighboring country to India. It is just below Great Nicobar Islands. Great Nicobar Islands. All of you take your atlases and take the old map. This is old map. This is India. This is India. These are Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These islands are called Indonesia. These islands are called Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world. It has 13,600 islands. And this is Japan. This is Japan. It is to the east of North Korea and South Korea, and also to the east of China. What do you observe? Indonesia is in the equatorial region. Indonesia is in the equatorial region. So it gets more highest temperature. Japan is in the temperate region. Japan is in the temperate region. It has moderate temperature. It has moderate temperature. That is the differences of temperature of those two countries, Indonesia and Japan. And insolation. Insolation also shows its effects on the temperature. What is the meaning of insolation? Insolation means incoming solar radiation. Incoming solar radiation. Where does the solar radiation come from? From the sun. The solar radiation coming from the sun. The incoming solar radiation from the sun is called insolation. Insolation. Insolation is very high in tropical regions and moderate in temperate regions and very less in polar regions. That's why this region is getting more temperature. This is getting more insolation, so automatically the temperature will be increased. This region gets moderate insolation, so it gets moderate temperature. This region gets lowest temperature, lowest insolation, so that is getting lowest temperatures. If we observe our country, this is Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees north latitude. This is Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. India is situated roughly 8 degrees to 37 degrees north latitudes. 8 degrees to 37 degrees north latitudes. Tropic of Cancer is dividing. Tropic of Cancer dividing India approximately two equal parts. Two equal parts. This part is in the tropical region and this part is in the temperate region. This is in the tropical region. The region below Tropic of Cancer is tropical region. The region above Tropic of Cancer is in the temperate region. So, South India records the maximum temperatures. What is the reason? The reason is it is very near to the equator. This is 0 degree. This is equator. South India is very near to equator. So it gets more insolation and also it gets more temperature. If we observe the temperature of Kanyakumari, this is Kanyakumari, and the temperatures of Bhopal and Delhi, which place records the maximum temperature? Can you say? Kanyakumari is the answer. What is the reason? Kanyakumari is very near to the equator as compared to Delhi and Bhopal. So it records maximum temperature among these three places. Let us move on to the second topic, land-water relationship. Land-water relationship. That is the second factor. That is the second climatic control. Land-water relationship. India is surrounded by 3 seas, and the most of the southern India, is affected by the weather of the water bodies. Water bodies and lands responds in a different way to the heating system of the atmosphere. The water receives and releases. The water bodies receive and release heat more slowly than lands. Once I'm repeating this, the water bodies, it may be Bay of Bengal, it may be Arabian Sea, it may be Indian Ocean. The water bodies receive and release heat more slowly than the lands. That is the difference between the receiving and releasing capacity of the two things, water bodies and the land. This causes land and sea breezes. At the daytime, sea breezes blow towards the land. At the night time, cool land breezes blow towards the sea. They maintain balance. Of temperature of these coastal plains. Most of the coastal plains are not recording more temperatures. What is the reason? Because they are very near to the water bodies. They are very near to the seas. Bhopal, Nagpur, Delhi, etc. Those are inland areas. All these are coastal areas. Coastal areas are affected by the water bodies. They are recording less temperatures compared to these. The inland areas means the areas which are very far to coastal lines, coastal areas. The inland areas records high temperatures. If you compare Mumbai and Nagpur, what is which city has a pleasant weather? Mumbai. What is the reason? Mumbai is a coastal area. It maintains heat balance with the help of Arabian Sea. It is cooler in summer and hotter in winter. Both are the pleasant weather conditions to the people. The situation of Nagpur is reverse to this. It is very hot in summer and very cool in winter. That is a difficult situation to the people. That is the effect of land-water relationship. And also darker areas and lighter areas. Darker areas such as heavily dense regions, heavily dense forests receives more insolation, receives more heat. Whereas the lighter areas such as the snow and ice covered areas receiving low insolation and reflects more heat. So they get less amount of heat and that reflects more amount of heat. Those are also two factors. Next, equable climates. Equable climate means the climate in which the differences in the temperature very less is called equable climate. The climate of Visakhapatnam, the climate of Chennai, the climate of Thiruvananthapuram, all these are equable climates. What is the reason? All these three cities are affected by the water bodies very near to them. They have normal temperatures throughout the year. Such type of climate is called equable climate. In these two cities, Mumbai and Naidu, Mumbai has the equable climate and Naidu is not getting equable climate. Let us move on to the third topic. The relief. Relief means, in this context, relief means height. Height above the mean sea level. Height above the mean sea level. That is relief in this context. What is the MSL? Mean sea level. The height from the sea level. That is the average height from the sea level. Mean sea level means average height from the sea level. Normal lapse rate. We have learned normal lapse rate in 9th class. What is the normal lapse rate? Temperature decreases. Temperature decreases at the rate of 6.4 degrees Celsius for every 1000 meters. For every 1000 meters in increasing altitude, increasing height. That means if you go 1000 meters above the surface of the earth, the temperature decreases 6.4 degrees Celsius. For example, the temperature at this place is 30 degrees Celsius. 30 degrees Celsius. If you go above 1000 meters, if you go above 1 kilometer height, what is the temperature there? You have to subtract 6.4 degrees from 30 degrees. 30 degrees minus 6.4 degrees, 4 degrees Celsius, equal to 23.6 degrees Celsius. That is the temperature at that place. That is the temperature at that place. What is that place? Above 1000 meters away from the surface of the earth. If you move on to the second kilometer, 2000 meters height, the temperature increases 6.4 degrees plus 6.4 degrees, 12.8 degrees. What will be the temperature there? 30 degrees minus 12.8 degrees. That means 17.2 degrees. Next, all of you know about the hill stations. All of you know about hill stations. What are the hill stations? Where did you learn about them? In our first chapter, we learned the names of some hill stations. Those are in Himachal range. What are they? Simla, Mussoorie, Ranikhet, Nainital, Darjeeling, etc. All those are hill stations. Those are nearly 2000 to 300 meters elevation. They are at the height of about 2000 meters. So they records less temperatures compared to other cities in the North India. So most of the North Indians go to those hill stations to relax in summer months. Hill stations records less temperature as compared to the plain areas. The plain areas record more temperatures. The hill areas record less temperature. What is the reason for that? They are in the high elevation. High elevation means high height. Every 1000 meters decreases 6.4 degrees Celsius. You know that. Next, the fourth climatic control is upper air circulation. Upper air circulation. Our first point is trade winds. Trade winds. In the northern hemisphere, subtropical high pressure belt is there. High pressure belt is there above Tropic of Cancer. From the subtropical high pressure belt, some winds blow towards the equatorial region. They blow all over the year. Those winds are called trade winds. Those winds are called trade winds. Trade winds. The word trade comes from the German language. The trade means track in German language. The trade means track. Those trade winds affect the climate of our India. India lies in the belt of northeastern trade winds. They are dry trade winds, dry northeast trade winds. India is in the belt. Another factor which affects the climate of India is jet streams. Jet streams means upper air circulation. Upper air circulation. At the elevation of 12,000 meters, a jet stream is there. A jet stream is there. The winds blow at a speed of 110 kilometers per hour in summer and 184 kilometers per hour in winter. Those jet streams cool the surrounding atmosphere. Automatically, the rains come there. At 25 degrees north, easterly jet stream develops. At 25 degrees north. These jet stream causes rains in North India. Once again, we recapitulate these things. Climatic controls. What are the climatic controls? The factors that affect climate are called climatic controls. There are 4 climatic controls. The first one is latitude or distance from the equator. The second climatic control is land-water relationship. The third one is relief. The fourth one is upper air circulation. All these are causes differences of temperature in various places in India. All of you observe this map. You have to locate all these places in your atlas. This is Kodaikanal. This is a hill station in Tamil Nadu. This is Ooty. Ooty is also called Udagamandalam. This is also a hill station in Tamil Nadu. We have also 2 hill stations in our state. What are they? The first one is Araku and the second one is Horsley Hills. Horsley Hills is in Chittoor district. Araku is in Visakhapatnam. And also you have to remember all these points which are mentioned in our map. Okay, thank you. See you in our next class.